Hello everyone and welcome to another tutorial from Mekanism. In today's video I'm going to show you how to make the fission reactor. So first you're going to need fission reactor casing, which is made from 4 lead ingots and 1 steel casing. Then the fusion reactor port is made from 4 fission reactor casings and 1 LED control circuit. Then you can create a logic adapter, which is 4 redstone dust and 1 fission reactor casing. This one is optional. Then you need the control rod assembly, which is 4 lead ingots, 4 steel ingots and 1 LED control circuit. Then fission fuel assemblies, which is 6 lead ingots, 2 steel ingots and 1 basic chemical tank. And lastly you can use reactor glass instead of the casing, which is 1 glass, 4 lead ingots and 4 enriched iron. First, to create the base, you need to create at least a 3x3 platform. It can be larger. Then you need to build at least 4 in height. Then you fill it in with either casings or a reactor glass. Then you place the fission fuel assemblies and on top of it the control rod assembly. And then you just close it with the casings, and that's it. Then you're going to need 3 ports, one for input, one for output and one for output waste, which you just change by right clicking. Now if you've done it correctly you should see this. There's fuel tank, coolant tank, heated coolant tank and waste tank. Then you have the stats. The first is how much heat you can store. Then how big is the fuel surface, the efficiency. Then you have your max burn rate and your current burn rate. You can click here to change it. So for example you can like double it or you can do the whole digit. Then you can replace some of the walls with the logic adapters. Once you open it, it shows you multiple different options. The first is activation, which decides whether or not it's active or not. Then it's high temperature, which sends out redstone when it's dangerously high. Then it outputs redstone if you have too much waste in the reactor. Then there's critical damage, which is basically when it's getting damaged. And then it's when you don't have enough fuels. What I recommend doing is placing a torch on it, then placing 2 blocks below and doing this, then setting this one to activation and this one to high temperature, which then makes it that this is always powered, which means it's activated, but when the temperature gets too high it stops working because it activates, makes redstone, which then disables this torch, which in turn disables the reactor. The next thing you're going to need is a radioactive waste barrel, which is 4 lead and 4 steel ingots. Then you place it next to your output of the waste and place a tube between. If it fills up with waste, it starts getting damaged and it can explode. Now how to create the fuel. You will need 3 more machines. The first one is the isotopic centrifuge, which is 6 lead ingots, 2 ultimate control circuits and 1 basic chemical tanks. Next you're going to need a chemical dissolution chamber, which is 4 refined obsidian ingots, 2 ultimate control circuits, 2 basic chemical tanks and 1 steel casing. And lastly you're going to need a chemical oxidizer, which is 4 infused alloy, 2 basic control circuits, 1 chemical tank, 1 personal chest and a dynamic tank, which is made from 4 steel and a bucket. Now the process how to make it. I'm going to start from the end and then continue onward. So first you need the isotopic centrifuge, which creates the fissile fuel from uranium hexafluoride. The uranium hexafluoride is created from hydrofluoric acid and uranium oxide. Uranium oxide you make in a chemical oxidizer with yellow cake uranium, which is uranium ingot in an enrichment chamber. The hydrofluoric acid you make in the chemical dissolution chamber with sulfuric acid and fluoride. The sulfuric acid is created from sulfuric trioxide and water vapor. The water vapor is just water in the rotatory condensator. The sulfur trioxide is made with oxygen and sulfur dioxide in the chemical infusion chamber. The hydrogen is just water in the electronic separator. And the sulfur dioxide is sulfur dust in a chemical oxidizer. The next thing you're going to need is to get water in it so it doesn't overheat. As you can see, once you activate it, the temperature goes up, and if I were to break the pipe, you can see the water starts going down, and once it goes to 0, the temperature starts going up at a rapid pace, and it starts getting more and more damaged. Now the water is gone, and you can see it starts getting up. And because I have it set up so it turns off when you don't have enough power, it automatically deactivated once the temperature is too high. Now if I connect it again, you can see that it starts going back down, or it should. I first have to manually disable it because the automation automatically turns it on again, so it doesn't have enough time to repair. And now you start creating a lot of steam. As you can see, it starts creating 40 millibuckets with just rate limit if 1, which you can then use in a wind turbine. Now with the turbine constructed, along with the matrix to store the power, you can just connect the reactor with it, and you can see it gets filled, but once it uses all of the backlog, you can see the reproduction. So now with just a basic reactor, you can see that it generates 22 kFE, which is not the max, but you can make this a lot bigger, and it's still a lot better than with the boiler. Now I'm going to show you what happens if you let your reactor explode. So I've already prepared one over here that doesn't have any input of water or output of waste, and once I create it, you can see that it starts getting damaged once it heats up, and if you let it go for long enough, it's going to explode and spew radiation everywhere. The more burn rate you use, the faster it starts getting damaged. So, as you can see, it exploded, and you can kind of see these particles in the air. If I turn into survival, you can see that I start getting radiation, and it does over time decrease, and it still stays. So as you can see, the fire all died down, but the radiation is everywhere. You can protect yourself from the radiation by crafting a hazmat suit. The helmet is made from 5 tin ingots and 1 orange dye. The chest plate is 8 lead along with 1 orange dye. The pants are 7 lead with orange dye, and the boots are 4 lead and 1 black dye. Now if I go back to survival, you can still see I take damage. The thing about the hazmat suit is that it prevents radiation, not fixes it. So if you already have it, it doesn't protect you. So you have to have it equipped before time. So now, if I go back to survival, you can see I'm actually fine, even though I'm in the radiation. There's also two devices that tell you how much radiation there is. First, there's the Geiger counter, which is 4 LED and 1 control circuit. This tells you how much radiation is in the area, as well as how long it will take for it to decay. Next is the dosimeter, which is 4 lead ingots and 1 redstone dust. And this tells you how much radiation you have been exposed to. So now it's in green, but if I equip it, you can see that it starts getting up. And now even if I equip it, it still doesn't help. And the longer you stay in the radiation, the longer it takes for it to decay inside you. So the best way to get in with it is either with a command or just dying. And this is where I'm going to end this video. I hope it helped, and I hope you are careful when building it. Bye.